No, in the sense that your take I accept. I'm just saying that I felt that I should enter to, to feel that space. For me, it was not just showing. And for me, actually, the whole film comes together when the camera pans and stops on Santa Claus. After all the heaviness, for me, that Santa Claus in her room defines her for me, you know. Life is tough, but yeah.
Always used to be the recluse wife of Pandit Ravi Shankar and the daughter of Ustad Baba actually. So basically, you have taken her out of that, and her वो जो एक guru थी, that whole thing, and what did it mean to have her as a guru? How was she so different from many other people? How was her pedagogy so different? And so it's a very difficult thing to do that, and it has been done, I don't know, so poetically, so lyrically, that it will stay with people, I think. So if you can tell us about how the whole structure was devised, like using Ma's own interview and then narration by Nityanand ji, and all the disciples sort of coming together as if they're having this one big adda, about their association with her. So tell us about how that whole thing evolved.
Well, I'll keep it short. Nityanand ji is the one responsible for this film. It happened because of him. So he convinced Ma that this film should be made, and it's not only about you, it's about women performers, and they're also, I mean, as the film does, I mean, there's space for Shakuntala Narasimhan, she shares her point of view. And when she agreed, she said, you have to be honest with my story. And he convinced that, okay, Nirmal is the person who will make it. And for whatever reason, she allowed me to make this film, but with this condition that I can't enter her room and can't interview her. And I felt very nice about it. As I felt that like this huge burden is taken away, because imagine had she allowed me as a filmmaker, I would have pushed her, and usually we do that, no? Get interview, make a talk about music and life and what happened and not happened. And then I had access to this interview, which was taken by Tathagat and all that, and which Nityanand recorded. So, I mean, the structure did not evolve like in just 5-6 months. I also, I mean, this film is very different, no? It's like we come from film media, which is all about making, showing, getting applauses, and here is a person who is completely opposite. So many days just went, she's inside, I'm on the other side, you're on the floor, the Arabian Sea, wind is coming in, you're just lying there on the floor, not necessarily wanting to make a specific film. So as and when, as part of research, you're doing things and you're meeting people, things became clearer to me about her life and music, and what music can do to you and where it can take you. The structure evolved. And I'm happy my co-editor Reena is here, so together I think many, many years of editing, and so over 5 years, this shape came out. So meeting, there is this biographer, Oliver Krask, in the film. So there was this in between, I read his book, and the thought was that we will go and shoot with him in he lives in UK, but then pandemic hit us, and he couldn't come here, we couldn't go, so we waited for 2-3 years. Then in between, I thought, okay, we will plant a camera there, and we will do this Zoom conversation and record it. And he said, no, I am best when I'm one-to-one. And I'm glad he insisted. He said, I will come and meet Nityanandji, and then only we'll do it. So we waited another year for it. So I guess, patience. And like as one of the disciples who waited for 40 years, we only waited for 4 or 5 years. So.
Those time-lapse photography that you kept using with the music of the clouds, and then suddenly this Antilla building, and then the moon comes out and sort of takes us somewhere else, and then merging it with the music of her recordings. How did that happen, that kind of?
Again, I mean, you're shooting, you're there in that flat, and through that flat you're seeing the sea or the Antilla house there, and you just on the balcony taking shots. Of course, Ranjan shot that whole thing and the plan. And so these are images you collect. And of course, there is music and the story in your head. You don't really know how it will come together in the film, But as an I started my profession career as an editor, so I think that plays a role, that somehow the story is in back of your mind and you feel this will all come together, but you really, really don't know till you start putting it together. But it's not necessarily that you're taking a shot thinking, oh, this will fit here. It just fits when the structure happens. So.
I have a question for नित्यानंद जी. So आपने एक जगह में फिल्म में बताया, मैंने लिख लिया वो, एक ऐसा घाट जहाँ से सबने पानी पिया. So you're referring to the pedagogy of Ma, right? So this is something that you refer to the syncretism, as well as आपने शायद ये भी रेफर किया कि इतने सारे instruments बजा रहे लोग और सीख रहे एक ही गुरु से, which was quite not something regular, right? जो बाबा के भी थे और माँ के भी थे. It was very unique to them, right? So I think, you know, sitar, surbahar, sarod, flute, tabla, so many people have learned from बाबा and also learned from माँ. So उनका जो pedagogy था आपने इस फिल्म में भी दिखाया, लेकिन स्पेशल जो था, जैसे कि आप फ्लूट बजाते हैं, माँ नहीं बजाती थी, तो कैसा था वो सीखना उनसे?
एक तो उनके बारे में ऐसा बोलना तो बहुत मुश्किल बात है, उनको एक्सप्लेन करना. बट शी इज़ द ओनली पर्सन और अदर देन हर गुरु who could teach in detail, knowing the intricacies of the instrument and teaching according to that. She is the only guru I have seen who has taught in that manner. With this kind of a training, you will see others. I don't want to, criticize or show any differences, but this is the only gharana which can think of, teaching all the instruments. Other gharanas, suppose sitar gharana, they will only teach sitar, और सुर बहार तो सुर बहार ही सिखाएंगे और फ्लूट तो फ्लूट ही सिखाएंगे. बट दिस इज द ओनली घराना वो compromise, not compromise, I can say, but combined talim from all the gharanas is united in this gharana, and they can teach. Apart from Ma, I don't think anybody can teach. Even when I teach, I have no knowledge of teaching sarod or sitar. I can only teach flute. So this is the only greatness of her, that she could do this.
निर्मल जी से पूछना था ये बात कि आपने वीमेन म्यूजिशियन का जिक्र किया और आपके प्रीवियस काम में भी है. आपने बेगम अख्तर के ऊपर आपने फिल्म बनाई है. Then there was another film you made on Ma, right? Guru Ma, it was called, and it was produced by Sangeet Natak Academy. I haven't seen that film. I would really love to. But then why did you make two films on Ma, one after the other? And what was different?
पैसा बहुत important चीज़ है. So, no, actually I started this film, Sangeet Natak Academy approached me after Begum Akhtar, and they felt that I can do justice or whatever about Ma's story. So they said, if you can handle that project. But they wouldn't sanction the project or money or anything, and I was meeting Nityanand ji. So 1 year passed. So I requested Nityanand ji that can foundation do something, and she said, okay, we will try, let me convince her and let's start. So whatever time it took, and we started the filming. And after she passed away, Sangeet Natak got all activated and said, oh, we need this film. So they said, then they came back to me and said, can you handle this film for us? And her as a guru and this and that, keeping that in mind. So I requested Nityanand, can I hold on to this film and do that? So that film happened, and then I came back to this film. So we Filmmaker survive on funds we get, so we can't say no to money. But it was great fun, because for that I met many more disciples in that sense, which prepared me for this film. And
there was one curiosity I had, and then I'll throw it open to the audience for questions, is so Ali Akbar Khan, her brother, passed away not much before, right? It was...
I think early 2000?
सो उनका कुछ रिकॉर्डिंग है जो जिसमें वो इनके बारे में बताते हैं कुछ, या ऐसा कुछ नहीं है
I
मटेरियल?
searched, I never found anything, no. I wanted some interview, radio interview, or any interview that he has given, but there is, at least I couldn't find him talking about her.
Yeah, so let us just have questions and comments from the audience.
Nityanand ji, thank you so very much for only one reason, that you let us all listen to Annapurna Devi ji's voice. This is the first time, I think many of here, or many of the people here only, this is the first time listen to her voice and also her photo. My question would be one thing, that most of the time whenever we discuss in all the Bengali magazines and there, anything written about Annapurna ji, this seclusion aspect of her career is always mentioned. But don't we think that this particular seclusion, which she also talks about in the documentary, that one artist should be secluded, and most of the time, in this particular time when all the art is performance based and everything has to show everyone, at that particular time, isn't she the example to all the artists who must be more concentrated on their art than to showcase it to the world? What do you think about it?
I think artist is always performing. So to concentrate on two things is not different. It's the same thing. A performer has to perform, and so in that regard he has to practice and do riyaz. And then doing that riyaz with that kind of a initiative, or you can say what you used to say, play for one, that is very difficult for artists to adopt that situation, because artists always want to have applause from the audience, and that way they neglect this side of the spiritual side of the music. And I don't know, I must have differed from your question, but I couldn't really understand what you want to ask me.
नमस्कार पंडित जी, साष्टांग प्रणाम है आपको। आपने माँ को हम सबके समक्ष लाया। जीवन भर माँ जो हैं वो अपने आप को बाहर कहीं शोकेस नहीं करना चाहती थी। मैंने देखा था पंडित अरविंद पारिक जी का बैठक जो है, उसमें भी आपने माँ के बारे में बहुत संक्षिप्त में बताया था। मेरा सवाल है पंडित जी, आपने फिल्म के दौरान एक जगह बताया कि 3 जगह जो उनकी वीडियो रिकॉर्डिंग्स हुई हैं वो उनकी जानकारी के बिना हुई थी। जब आप उनके साथ थे और वो रियाज़ करती थी, कभी आपके मन में ऐसा विचार नहीं आया कि आप उनकी अनुमति के बिना ही उनका रियाज़ रिकॉर्ड कर लें? या
नहीं, उन्होंने बहुत स्ट्रिक्टली हमको कहा था कि कुछ रिकॉर्डिंग नहीं होगा। जब तालीम हमारी चलती थी तब भी उन्होंने मना कर दिया कि रिकॉर्डिंग नहीं होगी, क्योंकि उनका एक कहना था कि जब आपके पास रिकॉर्डिंग है तो आप निश्चिंत है कि मैं भूल जाऊंगा तो भी रिकॉर्डिंग सुन के मैं उसको रिवाइव कर सकूंगा, तो उसमें मेरी बुद्धि उसमें काम नहीं करेगी। तो इसलिए अगर रिकॉर्डिंग नहीं होगी तो मेरी बुद्धि उसमें एक अलर्ट रहेगी कि मैं भूल नहीं जाऊं, तो और उसका मैं सही ढंग से उसका ये करूं, तो इसलिए वो कभी रिकॉर्डिंग नहीं करने देती। नहीं, और किसी ने उनको रियाज करते हुए नहीं सुना।
ओके, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद पंडित जी, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद ये मूवी बनाने के लिए।
Well, the last one and very precise one. The Calcutta itself possibly had the rarest opportunity to have such a glimpse of Annapurna Devi, which it didn't ever get through so many books, so many publications, so many documentaries, so many writings, and so many controversies. But my only question is, my only rather reflection is, that after the whole film, which there was an element of rather reverence, the element of worship that should be the hallmark of any film or any tribute to any great master of Indian classical music, particularly of Annapurna Devi. But my point is, very specifically, which I want to come to, is was it necessary to go into her room in the last shot? Shouldn't it better be left unsaid? I feel it should have been better left unsaid. And that appeared, or that rather felt like a kind of intrusion into a privacy, which she preserved all along her life. Obviously, this is no reflection on the film. My greatest tribute to you, and I feel like rather touching your feet for making such a great contribution to our knowledge of music and to our knowledge of the great life we have ever seen.
Oh, do I have to answer? I accept your criticism, but she came out first from her room, so I decided to go in. I felt many things. That since she was not there physically, this, as a filmmaker, remember I said, had she allowed me to enter the room earlier when she was alive, I would have made her life difficult. So hence, this whole thing of a filmmaker to enter and see that space that she has nurtured with all her energy and dedication to music. And it was done after she was passed away with his permission. And I feel if I haven't done that, they were going to, in any case, repair the house, room, and everything. So you wouldn't see the place the way it is. So I understand, I get your question, but it's a creative choice. And for me, entering was important in that sense. Sorry, I get your question, but I think they need to also finish. But I accept your criticism. I'm not against at all. No, in the sense that your take I accept. I'm just saying that I felt that I should enter to feel that space. For me, it was not just showing. And for me, actually, the whole film comes together when the camera pans and stops on Santa Claus. After all the heaviness, for me, that Santa Claus in her room defines her for me, Life is tough, but yeah.
Alongside the portraits of her parents sits that
Yes.
Santa Claus, yeah, of course. Well, thank you for making such a brilliant film, and I think this film is going to stay with us for a long time. And we have a little gift for Nirmal.
So thank you all for coming, and thank you, Kasturi, and the festival for having us over here. And yeah, very happy. We wanted to come to Kolkata and show it personally, so you made it happen. Thank you.
We have a little gift for you. So.